Fuyao. Chapter 14. Qingqian was new to the cultivation world and Yan Jingming was useless. Therefore, they exchanged doubtful glances, not knowing who Lord Baiming was. Then, Li Yun, who finally got out of his stupor, spoke. His voice was as low as the buzz of a mosquito. Lord Baiming is not a person. According to legend, Baiming is a deep and boundlessly dark sea. So a master of demonic magic is often compared to Baiming. With time, it became an honorable title that every demonic cultivator fights for. Senior Zipping, this charm was carved by my master. There's still sawdust on it, not by some Lord Baiming. What is a master of demonic magic? Asked Qingqian quietly. The best among demonic cultivators. The archdevil, answered Yan Jingming unsurely. From what he has seen so far, Qingqian didn't deem his master as an archdevil. But on second thought, he felt it might be true, from the perspective of a hen. Bullshit! Exclaimed Zipping Zhenren angrily. Then she turned to Qingqian. Pointing at him, the hazy image in the air said rudely, Boy, come here. Qingqian was just going to speak when Yan Jingming stopped him. Yan Jingming shook his head at him, advanced and said to Zipping, Senior, my junior brother is still new here. He hasn't even memorized the sect rules yet. I'm afraid he may offend you. If you need anything, you come for me. Yan Jingming might be tall, but his body was still the one of a thin and weak teenager. Observing him from behind, Qingqian pursed his lips, and for the first time felt that first senior brother was not a good-for-nothing as he had imagined. I want him. None of your business. Zipping fulminated. Yan Jingming frowned. Qingqian whispered to him in a haste, Senior brother, it's okay. With that, he walked forward against the strong, ominous aura from the monster and heard Zipping Zhenren order. Pick that talisman up. Qingqian stopped and picked it up. The instant he touched the tablet, he felt the tyrannical power in it. There was seemingly a fierce beast jailed inside. But that beast probably recognized Qingqian as it gradually tamed and the blaze faded. The tablet in his hand reverted to a peaceful state. For a second, while Qingqian was holding the tablet, the fear of facing the bossy monster miraculously waned a lot and a thought popped into his head. When can I have such dominating power that allows me to fly between the heaven and the earth, go anywhere as I wish instead of jittering before an old monster? Contemplating the charm, Zipping's expression changed several times. After a while, her tone eased up a little. You came looking for your junior brother? Let's make a deal. I will give back the guy that strayed in here if you bring me something I want. There's a celestial platform in the Demon Valley. Monsters are not allowed to enter as it has restrictive spells, but humans can. The thing I want is there. Her claim didn't hold water. The 800-year-old monster had apparently taken the three lads as little birds that were easily fooled. But she failed because these three were not birds, they were human beings. They thought the same, bah nonsense. After winking and frowning at one another, Yan Jingming made the final decision. Get into the Demon Valley first. Regarding how to deal with her when they came back, young Master Yan didn't think much of it. Considering the old hen's situation, it was likely she would kick the bucket soon. They bundled off. Yan Jingming even plucked a feather from Zipping Zhenren's abode with his nimble fingers upon leaving. Once outside the cave, they were surrounded by water again. It was very shallow this time though. They swam across to the shore quickly and arrived at their neighborhood, Demon Valley. Landing on the ground, Yan Jingming pinned that chicken feather on Li Yun's chest and said, In ancient times, there was a story where a fox assumed the majesty of the tiger. Today we have an asshole assuming the majesty of an old hen. Look how faint-hearted you are. You may as well wear that to boost your courage. Think hard how to find that poor underbite. We have to get back before sunset. A twinge of fear went through Li Yun. He asked Yan Jingming anxiously, First senior brother, does the Demon Valley have any other taboos related to when it gets dark? I mean, I have to go back to have a bath, my feet are stuck to my shoes by the mud. You idiot. Yan Jingming snarled. Qingqian. He could tell that first senior brother wasn't joking. His malevolent face looked as if he was really going to chop his feet off. Were it not because one could only have a sole pair of feet in his whole life. Presumably he would have do that without blinking an eye. Li Yun knew a variety of little tricks. Under the pressure from his first senior brother, he pondered for a bit while nibbling his finger. Luckily, he didn't let first senior brother down and came up with an idea. He produced a small bottle from his bosom which Qingqian found familiar. "Isn't this the feet-washing water of the toads?" Qingqian blurted. Holding his masterpiece and broken heart, Li Yun gave him a complaining look. "Junior brother, this is magic water. Toad liquid." He dropped 3 drops on a small stone and turned it into a frisky toad. Whether because first senior brother was afraid of that or simply because it revolted him, his expression was even worse than when his sword was knocked off by Zipping Jinren. He stared at it with awful abhorrence. Qingqian kind of saw how his senior brothers fell foul of each other. "Go find Han Yuan," ordered Li Yun. The toad croaked and hopped forward. Li Yun signaled them to keep up and explained, "To tell you the truth, toad liquid is a mixture of toad's urine and 5 deadly venoms." Footnote: 5 deadly venoms are namely the venom of the centipede, the snake, the scorpion, the lizard, and the toad. Several drops are enough to turn a small object like a leaf, a piece of paper, or a stone into a toad. Little junior brother played for a long time the other day with one that was changed from a leaf. His body and clothes should have picked up the same smell, so it should be able to find him. Yan Jingming freaked out. "Do you mean he hasn't changed clothes, or you mean he hasn't bathed since a few days ago? Is he still a fucking human?" Hearing the formula of toad liquid, Qingqian felt sick. "Second senior brother, you don't need to detail that. The toad's piss had limited effect. That little toad hopped only for 2 or 3 zhong before it turned back to a stone." Li Yun had to use the liquid again. He sighed. "This can only last for a short while as it's not a real charm, but something that is only for fun. I only have this bottle left. I'm afraid we will have to be careful with its expenditure to find little junior brother." When Li Yun said that, he was looking at the bouncing toad with a tender and almost wistful expression. Qingqian shivered. He felt that second junior brother might not be an ordinary person. The toad took a break after every jump. At this speed, it guided them through the increasingly luxuriant forest. But abruptly, the vivacious toad fell on his back with its limbs twitching. Yan Jingming picked up a 3-chi-long stick from the ground, covered his nose with his sleeve and poked the toad from a distance. Then he wondered, did he finally die due to being ashamed of his very existence? With an appalled croak, the toad turned back to a stone. And even after Li Yun dripped magic water on it, it wouldn't come alive. Li Yun scratched his head in embarrassment. Hush. A look of vigilance flashed across Yan Jingming's face. He lurched to his feet, dropped the stick and drew out his sword towards the dense forest beside him. Bodeful rustlings sounded from the forest, followed by a roar which brought a human-headed but beast-bodied monstrous bear to the presence of the 3. That monster was much taller than 2 adults with a big bull head. You could see its iron teeth when it opened its mouth, and smell a filthy bloody odor effusing from it at a distance of several li. A shake of its fist accompanied his appearance, which casted a big tree away. Yan Jingming pushed Li Yun and shouted, "What are you about here? Run!" Li Yun froze, he couldn't move a step. At this critical moment, the tablet in Qingqian's bosom became warm. They simultaneously heard a man's voice. "Don't move." That man said very calmly. "Who?" Yan Jingming swung around. "Don't be scared, come over here." That voice sounded again. This time they all heard it. The voice came from Qingqian's direction but they couldn't see the speaker. Then something seemed to strike Qingqian as he lowered his sight on the tablet slowly. "Speaking charms?" Li Yun goggled. The charm seemed to be amused by him. It said comfortably with a softer tone, "It's nothing but 2 or 3 small monsters. They won't hurt you, trust me." However, he had hardly finished his words when that mountainous bear spirit dashed towards them. Wherever the small monster passed, it shook the ground. No wonder that timid toad played possum. The 3 two-legged lads were absolutely not as fast as the big beast. It was already too late for them to run now. However, it never rains but pours. Another shrill roar sounded somewhere near. The next scene they saw was that a colorful snake twined its tail around the bear's waist, and the mountainous bear was tossed upward into the sky precipitously, then bashed onto the ground, creating a deep hole in the earth. Those ancient trees and flowers around all met with disaster, flattened and ravaged. It happened so fast that first senior brother was even deprived of time to mind the mud splashed on his white clothes. 2 small monsters? No matter how rare a speaking talisman was, the three lads all felt that he just said it too easily because it was not his own business. Indeed, the tablet wouldn't die. Later, the snake monster revealed its complete appearance. The upper part of its face was human's, while the underpart was covered with scales and was rattling a buzz. As it moved, an even stronger bloody wind gusted. It wriggled through the ravaged forest so fast that only ghostly images were left. Cheng Qian could only hear the hissing noise of its scales against the ground, but couldn't see where its head was, until it bit into the bear's neck. The steaming blood spouted 3 zhang to the air, forming a blood fountain. With mortal terror on its face which almost evolved to a human's, the bear spirit came crashing down in a minute. Its huge body rolled and twitched desperately on the ground, moribund, while the snake coiled around it tightly and rolled about with it. In death throes and mournful cries, the bear died. Cheng Qian looked right into its leaden, unfocused eyes, feeling like his chest was jammed with ice cubes. The snake loosened its tie around the bear and retreated. Cheng Qian thought it was going to check whether its prey was seriously dead. But the snake suddenly bolted into the bear spirit's body. Its head impaled the body's abdomen like a sharp blade. Then it spurted out with a beast core in its mouth and extended its upper body, which was 1.5 zhang long. Yun vomited. He could hardly believe that he'd been a neighbor with such creatures for more than a year, and he had made several attempts to explore here in the 1st and 15th night. Yan Jingming felt the blood in his heart pumping frantically into every corner of his body, which set him in a daze. His feet seemed to lose strength. If his sword wasn't supporting him, he would have collapsed on the dirt. Facing the bloody ground with his heart pounding, Cheng Qian fixed his eyes on the dead bear and the munching snake. Once again, an inexpressible feeling welled up in his heart. If he had such absolute strength, would he also have the power of life and death over other beings?
End of the chapter.
I have something to say, a good news and a bad news. Let's start with the bad news, right? I think you guys can already see it. Sad. The voice that I previously used is now unavailable to access. I have no way but to use another voice. I like that voice a lot. That voice can express emotions better. I will look for other solutions in future. Let's stick with this right now. Now let's get to the good news. I have a plan to do a special video for my first subscribers. I'm looking forward to it in future. We still have 9 friends. I'm so grateful and happy even we are a small number. Thank you all for the love and support. That's it for today. Let's meet with the next chapter.
若见